Hello everyone. Welcome back to Stationeers, our Mars survival run. Last episode, we had started off by building a portable gas tank filling station for all 5 of our gases. Well, 4 of our known, and then our 1 unknown gas. And then I also said that between episodes I'd run the rest of the pipes, so that is what I did. I ran the rest of the 5 main gas pipes. I put some labels on them down here so I wouldn't make the same mistake as forgetting which one goes where. I think the labels are correct, at least. We'll find out. I set up the rest of our stuff. I haven't set any of these up yet. The power or values for each of these. Um, I did add this little segment here, so this is what we had started, but these are the 3 gases that we need to send over to our furnace setup. So I ran them up and ran them over with some pressure regulators and valves, so we can shut that system off or turn it on as we need to, set the pressures that we want to keep over there. I also added in the rest of the condensate valves, just so you wouldn't have to watch me build a bunch of valves and put those in. But otherwise, I think the system is ready, almost ready for a test. The last thing I wanted to do before we say send it and do that is build our back pressure regulator, anti blow up everything system. So I think what I'm going to do is put it right about here and then run the output to our main gas outline out there. I have some pipes, hopefully enough. So let's grab our wrench. So if we just come up right here, we might need some more pressure regulators. Yeah, we're gonna need some more pressure regulators. So what the idea is with a back pressure regulator on each of these, this is going to be a pain. It's a shame that these need power and that you can't just like chain them together. That would be very nice if there was a version that let us like chain these all one after the next. Such a shame that there isn't. But I guess we'll put one like that and that. Well, we can do an example like this. We'll have our cable that runs across. We'll set our... Oh, yeah, actually this way should work because it should be just enough line. Cool. We'll have to set our pressure that we want. I might have to move my valves, my meters, either outside of the little area there or up one so I can still see them. And then we will have a pipe run across the top. Go. Just like that. Yeah. Fairly useless back there. Whoops. Get for setting something up before I was sure. Let's just put these... Let's put them where we're going to be able to access them easily. So right back here. Hopefully. If we ever need to move them, we can move them again. They're not that hard to move. But essentially, and then this, we'll just run right along the wall. And then run into our thing up there. That is the idea behind that system. I need to make 2 more of these back pressure regulators, and then that should be good. And then we'll grab some ice and get this tested. I'll have to pause my recording real quick for that. I forgot to grab ice between episodes, but I'll do that in a moment. But first, let's go to the next 2 back pressure regulators. And put those in, and then I'll grab some ice and wire it in. Hopefully I have enough stuff. Be nice to have a display of like the current quantity of what's in one of these. I'm sure there's a way, probably. I just don't know what it is. Alright, there we go. Hey, it's good enough. Alright, so there's all our... Oops. Pressure regulators. Back pressure regulators. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to grab some ices real quick, and when I'm done with that, I'll come back and we can wire this in and give it a test. Oops. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I hit the wrong button on my recording. I've been talking about a whole lot of not much, mostly because it's a dust storm out. Anyway, mining expedition was successful. Oops, that was the wrong one. I got a bunch of volatiles, a bunch of oxide, a bunch of nitrice, so we can give our gas system a test. What I was saying is I'd like a system where I don't have to deal with unloading my ice belts manually. I'd like to use an unloader to do it because, well, we're building a giant, super complicated, advanced ice setup. We might as well do it right. And hand feeding the ice crusher gets old after a while, because it can take a little while, depending on the internal pressure, to process through all of the ices that it has. So I'm just printing up some basic chutes so that we can build a little chute buffer, and then we're going to use a unloader, a sorter. Okay, good, that's all. So we needed some chutes. Now we need a sorter because we only want to let through the ices. Need 1 sorter motherboard. And then we actually, so we do have a stacker, which can be an unloader. We have that. We are going to need the powered chute for an input, a computer to program it all, obviously our basic chutes that we've already made, our motherboard, which we've already made, and then a bug out again. Go. I do kind of wonder why it's doing that. If anyone has any ideas, I'd be super thankful. We need a... Oh, good. Looks like the dust storm's gone. What is it called? Let's see. What are you? Rename it? It's a sorter. Am I losing it? Is it not made in this? It's probably just made in the auto lathe. Yeah, it does look like the dust storm's gone. So we haven't really done anything else. We still have to build our, just put the wires to our overflow, and I did put away all of our stuff that was sitting out down there so it wouldn't get too dust storm broken. There it is. One, make it. Alright. So yeah, basically what I'm thinking is I don't want to have to deal with hand feeding this as much. Still want to have the options, so I'm going to put a junction in. Then I'm going to have a where am I going to put this anyway? Because I want to have a... I do kind of want this still to just be here. Can't put that there, because that's where the heavy coil goes through. So we also are going to need just our regular, or the bulk input. I think we might actually put over here. I don't know. Let me think about this. We can route another input over here, but rotate. So many rotation options. Might be nice to just have this, like, I can't put that there anyway. What about over here?
Hunger,
Nice and probably still in the way. Well, as long as we can get the ductwork down to the... Yeah, this will be fine. Let me get another wall, so I don't think I have enough walls. You just iron walls for the flat ones. Let's print. Wall. There you go. Oh. Another one though. I want wall type 1. Like that. One of these. Or, you know, we could just put it right here. Might be a better option. We can just go straight down. Could still work, right? I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. we're going to put it there. And we'll have our manual feed. Right. Eh. Right on the other, no. Yes, no, yes, no. Oh, how do I want to do this? Yeah, over here on the other side. Now we need our wrench because I messed this up. Oh, still on the wrench. Is there a way we can do this where it won't obstruct the power switch, or we just turn it on and then leave it on forever? Not worry about it. Or we don't do that. It sounds like a terrible idea. Will only end in me getting frustrated when it's not working. Also, we can't go straight down through the junction cable like that. Window. And we can't put chutes through a cable at all. That's unfortunate. I didn't realize they weren't like pipes. Okay. Rethinking.
Filter low.
Much filter's low. Is there filter actually? Oh, it is actually. One of them's out. Are we putting way too much thought into this? Probably. Let's just see if it powers on. We haven't exceeded the power thing of everything. Focus. One thing at a time. Alright. Let's just process our first few gases so we don't run out of stuff. To do that, I do need to finish this. Our overpressure prevention system. Cables on me. All right. Now we just need to set up pressures on each of these. So for O2, let's just take a look. So if we look at our tank, big tank, its max pressure is 6,000 or 60 megapascals. Now a pipe, I don't know a pipe can actually do that. Wherever they are on this giant menu. Oh, I guess it can. Max pressure is the same. So 60 MPa, so 60,000 megapascals is technically our max pressure that we could ever deal with. Now, for our gases, oxygen, that's fine for, because it will stay gas regardless of pressure as long as we keep it at our magic 20 degrees C. or 20, this 20. But if we go below that and start to get into the negative 100 degrees C range, we have to worry about it being a liquid at high pressure. But honestly, it shouldn't ever be at this point. So we're going to set our O2, which is our first pipe, our O2 pressure at 60,000 megapascals, or 60 megapascals. So theoretically, that should be fine. We do actually have to plumb that in too. Otherwise, this pipe's just going to get pressurized and blow up as well. N2 should be a similar story. So if we look at our nitrogen, right, as long as we are shooting for our 20 degree like ambient quote unquote temperature to store everything at, pressure can be as high as we want. So 60. Now CO2, this one we need to be a little careful with. So our carbon dioxide, yes, at 20 is fine, but honestly, we don't have that system set up right now, right? So we don't have our heat exchangers. We don't have the ability to regulate the temperature of our circuit. So we should probably... This is such a steep jump. But let's just set it for 1 megapascal, because we're just going to be venting CO2 all the time at that point. Let's just say that we can hopefully keep the temperature higher and set it for 2 megapascals. And that's just going to be our safety margin for now. This is in kilopascals, right? Yeah, okay. Now, volatiles, I think this one's a smidge easier again. Yeah, this is a very similar curve. So we can set this one at our max pressure. This one should just be 0, because we don't have anything in it right now. This should never have any pressure in it for right now. So it's at 0. It's always venting to atmosphere. Now, to finish setting that up, grab our... Really only have 1 pipe left. I must have lost some pipes in the great sandstorm of stuff blowing away. I did want to grab a one-way valve, though, so I just want to make sure we're only ever venting stuff. I don't want to be intaking extra stuff. And let's go grab a couple more pipes. Off, turn you back on. Do I get distracted easily and forget what I was working on? Never. What would make you think that? So, with this, we should have enough, we should have the ability now to process gases in a probably mostly safe arrangement.
Hunger critical.
Okay, I'll go eat another baked potato. Another one of these. Uh-oh. I created nothing by accidentally putting 2 baked potatoes in. I have successfully destroyed matter by microwaving 2 potatoes. Never microwave 2 potatoes. See, excellent way of creating a black hole and destroying the universe. Actually, trust me. Don't do it. There's my pipes. In my other hand, grab the wrench. Use what little amount of gas pressure we have left to pump this in. Open that valve up. Cool. Theoretically, we're good to go. Should we give it a try? I think so. Let's give it a shot. So we have O2 filters, N2 filters, CO2 filters, and volatiles filters. Everything's powered on. Everything's plumbed in. Our gas tanks are there. Kick those down into the pit. Let's grab our tablet. It is nighttime, so we can safely have ice out and about. Let's see what happens. Let's throw some nitrice in there first. So there is a little bit of N2O, so theoretically if I did want to store this, I would be able to. At this point in time, I do not. So there's nitrogen entering the system, still no oxygen. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Outlet pipe is, well, it's got nothing in it, obviously. Oh, it's got atmosphere mix in it. N2O trying to turn into a liquid in the ice crusher, but I think the heater is not letting it happen. So everything is a decent temperature just in our system. Obviously, with it being negative 47 degrees Celsius at night, that's not great. 20 kilopascals system, nitrogen. So theoretically, it should take a lot more nitrogen to fill up our tanks at this point, because it's such a big tank. Also, as pretty as my tube arrangement is, I think I'm going to need to add a couple more tubes and a couple more tanks, because I would like to create a big old breathing mix, which is going to be a mixture of oxygen and nitrogen, because I do not want to have a completely oxygenated environment. But a oxygen-nitrogen mix, so we'll have to add a couple more tubes. But yeah, I want to have a breathing mix out there, and then I do think I am going to create a pollutants loop to take any pollutants we might have and send them off into our system as well. Yeah, this is going fine. These are all going fine. This is fine. We're processing nitrogen. Seems to be working. We've officially processed our first new gas. Let's look down here. We're starting to see pressure. Now, what I'm interested in is theoretically, why do I hear something being unhappy already? Nothing in there, nothing in there, nothing in there, nothing there. Just nitrogen in there. Nothing in there. Oh no. That's why. We had liquid N2O in this pipe, which is causing problems. Luckily, it's evaporating pretty quickly, so do we roll the dice and put our N2O filters back in? I don't think so. I think we leave it. Yeah. It's one of the mild frustrations that I have with this game is that it really does not like you having liquid in a gas network. And I get it from the programming perspective of how difficult that probably is to handle. But you can see we have such a small amount of literally like half a liter, which I know is not a small amount of liquid, but a very small amount of liquid that's technically being vented to atmosphere. And this N2O at atmospheric pressure, which is almost nothing on Mars, should evaporate very quickly and cause no stress on the pipes whatsoever. Now, thermal stress, yeah, maybe. It's going to freeze the pipes as it does this. But not that badly. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like the liquid pipes versus the gas pipes. I feel like it should all just be one pipe, because these should just be just as good at carrying liquid as they are gas. Now, unless they're in like 60 megapascals, I don't know what that would be. Easy converter on me. Let's see. No, I don't. But 60 kilopascals, so 100 kPa is give or take. I'm going to be very general here because I don't honestly remember off the top of my head, but it is 100 kilopascals is about an atmosphere. So that's a lot of pressure at 60 megapascals. If these are able to hold 60 megapascals of gas pressure, logic would hold that they'd be able to hold a little bit of liquid that might collect in them. Yeah. Of all of the good things that this game does, I don't think that's one of them. It does really well with simulating like the phase change, or I say really well, it does pretty well with it, of simulating phase change. And you know, I'm sure there's a ton of math that goes into the behind the scenes of like making the whole atmospheric system work. I'm sure it is not easy. But also I just think that like all pipes should be pipes. If it can hold 60 megapascals of gas pressure, it should be able to hold a teeny itty bitty bit of liquid without exploding. Just my thoughts. Don't have to listen to me, obviously, but that's just my my 2 cents, as it were. What in the world is that? Oh, I bet I lost more solar panels. Eh. Oh, I did. Oh, that's less than great. Oh, well, I guess the game has decided what my next project's gonna be. Oh. I'm sorry, Solar Array, I forgot to come fix you. Time to hang my head in shame. I kept saying we were gonna come put the shroud around all of that to prevent it from getting busted up in the sandstorm. And I never did. It's my glass sheets. Oops. We don't have that many to fix now, so I shouldn't need a ton of... What? Shouldn't need a ton of glass sheets. Oh, and oh, we're actually running out of power. This is less than ideal. Let's fix the ones we have, because they produce worse when they're busted. Oops. That's all I have to say about this. It's oops. I made an oopsie. Yeah, we also need some kind of power alarm. Like if the total of our power is getting below a certain point. Sound the alarm. Alert, alert. We have problems. Surprised our tracking is working at all. It probably won't be. I probably caught this like just in time to not have really major problems, which I'm sure everyone's happy about. You want to see the problems. Yeah, there it all went. Yeah, that would have been it. My tracking system would have just went down. Would have been fun if I wouldn't have looked out that window. I didn't set up my solids generator. It's just sitting in my box still. We were gonna set up like an emergency power switch or something. Never did. Oopsies. Let's see. We've got 2 barely alive, 1 with 1 tick, and 2 mostly full. Or 2 full. Can't believe it. Jeez. Well, that was expensive. Ay, ay, ay. Battery. Oh. Why do these still have power? There should be no power on this line. Unless these do backfeed, these are just inputs. There shouldn't be any kind of like remaining power. What's going on there? Oh, I guess this one is still generating anything. Now they're not. Okay. Oh, we got a lot of cleanups to do. Oopsie daisies. Back to what we were doing. Over at the gas management front. Again, showing the importance of our liquid drains. We want to start using mostly smart tanks. So our N2 pipe comes up here and goes up here. So we are going to take our labeler and we are going to set our regulator at 20 megapascals. So I think that's about the capacity of a smart tank. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah, 2265. So maybe we'll do 19.5 just for safety margin. So that should now, when we turn this on, pressurize that as much as it can. And let's see. So the pressure is rising. I don't know if we have quite enough volume in the system to get the pressure that I want, but we can add some more in. And then, hopefully, let's print another smart tank. Gas canister smart. One of you. That's not a good sign. I suspect I'm out of steel. Uh-oh. Well, it seems that now more than ever, we need to get our system hooked up to the furnace setup over here. Well then, let's turn that off. So we don't necessarily need this pulling in all of the gas that we have. Oops. Put in some more nitrice. Alright. Let's just quickly route this in. We need to take apart the floor in a couple of spots. Alright. Get these pipes run over. We need some insulated pipes. And I need to remember which pipe is which. So the leftmost should be oxygen, the middle pipe should be nitrogen, and the far pipe, volatiles. So middle pipe is the one we care about right now. Need to run this all the way back to here. I'll have to find a way of getting that connected. But luckily, I think this does actually line up. Eh. Some more stored. Slightly damaged. I use something to repair this? We'll look at that in a second. Let's grab the non-damaged one. That's from the dust storm that ruined most of my solar panels. Luckily, at the moment, I think I only need this run to let me through. Just need to go down. There we go. So now we should have a nitrogen line that goes all the way out here. Oxygen, volatiles. We'll have to find a pretty way of routing each of these. Oxygen can come over and come up and over. Volatiles, we might have to drop down another one, or we could just run it right in the side there. That would work too. But we don't have any of those in the system, and I'm just about out of insulated pipe. So let's see if we can't get our furnace running. So N2, we still have some pressure in the system. We want this with our labeler. Set this at 9 megapascals just for now. We definitely can do more. Just wanted to do that for now. Turn you on. Let's have a see. Look and see what is happening on this end. So we are getting some pressure on this side. Which is good. We're going to need a little bit more, obviously, but the fact that we are processing ice into gas, directly feeding it to our furnaces, is a huge improvement instead of having to move these tanks around.
Hydration critical.
Now I am going to still keep these tanks here just because the system works as is, and I want to have some buffer, gas buffer for all this. I'm going to leave this uncovered for now just because we are going to run some more pipes, but right now I think my printer's pretty well stuck until I can process some more steel. Yeah. Need more steel. And for steel, I always forget. Yeah, it's 3-to-1, I think. Probably. Hopefully. I'll check the recipes just to make sure. I really don't want to mess this up. Dump in another nitrice, and if we check this, pressure is building progressively. We should still have fuel in the system. Yeah, we got a good amount of fuel. It does make it a little harder to hit our breaker box, but that's okay. Oh, why can I never remember the recipe for steel? Da, 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 da. Iron, coal, 3-to-1. Cool. Hopefully. Yeah, we're getting a good amount of gas. I mean, still not a huge amount, but definitely a lot better than what we were dealing with before. A lot of that is just our pressure in our, well, probably. It's just the fact that our pressure in our main gas line is not huge. So even though we are storing a pretty good amount of gas, so 7.5 kilomoles. And a mole is a fairly decent size measurement. Let's see how our filters are doing. They're doing fine. That might have been oxide. Did we just process some oxygen? No, we've just done nitrogen so far. Yeah, a decent amount of ice processed. We have a pretty good amount of stuff still in our tank, and we are probably still venting a pretty good amount of nitrous oxide. Really makes me wonder if I should just be storing it. As worried as it makes me. Not without our temperatures. Management system. Yeah, this should be up to about 500 kPa. We turn this all on. To steel. I think it really does anything until we press activate. So let's activate it. Yeah, it's ready to go already. Luckily, steel is fairly easy to make. Not like wasp alloy. Requires a bunch of yeah, it's only slightly concerning. Be making steel, right? 3 iron, 1 coal. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Okay. Let's see what that did. Oh, yeah, we're still building pressure. So I don't think that used any of our coolant gas. Very good. Toss you into the mix, and it will get vented out, and we will get our smart gas tank. As long as we still have silicon. We do. We do need more. We are running low on silicon, I do know that much. Drink some water to make my guy happy. We should probably eat while we're in here. Yay! Smart gas tank. We can put you into the nitrogen line. And then open up our valve again. We've got lots of nitrogen in the system. That should slowly fill with pressure. Let's, while we're at it, I gotta figure out why, because This is the part that I don't understand about why the device is staying locked, is that at the end of the operation cycle, luckily I want another gas tank, so like it's fine. And I could always just set it to 0, but at the end of the process of the writes that I make, the last operation that's written to this machine should be the unlock operation. That should always get written. And it should always be executed last. And that's what confuses me about why it's staying locked, is it's not even that like my script isn't writing something that it's supposed to be writing. Ooh. Have some valve physics there. Yeah, it's not even my script that isn't like writing properly. It's just like not doing the thing that it's supposed to be doing. Oxygen should be this line. Yeah. So let's grab what I was gonna do. Now that it's apparently locked still. I have to see if it's something to do with the hash. I don't know why it would be. Or if I must be reading something that I'm not supposed to. Like this one. It's also currently locked. Jeez. What even did you eject? Probably like some steel that I needed. Oh, that's right. I think for spray paint, I have to make it over here. I want green. Turn all of you off and do this the old-fashioned way. Ooh. Oops. Well, gonna be a few trips of fetching iron. Remember that for when I order something from the vending machine manually. I'm just glad it can be recombined inside these machines automatically. Green spray paint. New one. Now if I go out here, theory. Oh, do I have that mod on? I guess I must. Network painter. It's great. Lets you paint all of the stuff in one network the right color. Wow. That's nice. I forgot that I had that installed. Oops. Make it look like a Google server room down here. All the different colored pipes going everywhere. So yeah, that's cool. So now we have our nitrogen line painted up nice and green for nitrogen. I think I still have a red spray can sitting around somewhere. Put these back out now that the dust storm's done. Oops. Keep grabbing those because they really don't show up very well. Let's see. Yeah, I do. We can even paint our filtration machines. Volatiles. Red for volatiles. That. You. 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 This extra step, sure. Does it still make it look nicer and much easier to identify what you're working with? Absolutely. Is that kind of worth it in and of itself? Yeah. Although my red spray paint is just about gone, so yeah, we'll store it for now. Then let's grab some white. White for oxygen. They're already painted white. I have to figure out what color I want to use for CO2. Go. Guess we could leave CO2 yellow. Mixed gases brown, perhaps. Or I guess pollutants should technically be yellow. Gray for CO2? Gray seems right. It's definitely nice having everything in this nice, easy to manage manifold. See, I just want to see real quick. Can I repair you? Are you actually even damaged? I guess not. You're fine. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with it. We're just going to throw it in the recycler. Was that a huge waste of resources? Maybe. I don't really know. Turn you on for a minute. Slowly filling up. Let's see how our system over here is doing. Got 1.91 megapascals. Good. So maybe you'll have a better shot actually making that wasp alloy. It's ooh, freaking Gmod physics. What is what is up with those gas cans? Oh, I put them. Put the green one down here. Right. Also wanted to spray paint our atmospheric module because rainbow color is good. And spray paint the gas can. Everything nice and pretty colors. That's coming up pretty quickly. We can start feeding in some of our, let's see. Yeah, we got plenty of oxide. Start feeding that in. Get some oxygen going in the mix. But yeah. Just fall down real quick. It's fine. Filters are doing fine. Yeah, I think I am going to do like dark gray for CO2. Or I guess just gray. Go. Non-oxygen color. Matches the label. I guess technically if we wanted to go with the label colors, we'd do black for nitrogen. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I like green. Green's prettier. I will stand by this logic to a fault. Oh, there we go. Our yellow one is our yet to be determined whether we're going to do N2 or just unknown gas. We'll get there when we get there. Yeah, we've got our gas array set up. Got our oxygen, nitrogen, CO2, H2. At this point, we've got some nitrogen in the system. We just put some oxygen in. You should see the pressure starting to come up. We're starting to get a very minimal amount of pressure for N2, but our volume is the thing we have to remember here. We've just put like 400 ice in. We have a huge amount of volume stored. Almost 10 kilomoles. I think this is more than we ever had stored before. So, volume is something to remember. And just in our, pipe network alone, we have 119 moles. This is a pretty large pipe network, though. Our processing tank has a pretty good mixture of stuff in it. I think next time we have a couple choices. Part of me wants to make the auto feed ice system, but that kind of requires that I also do automatic ingots, which I'd like to do over here. Well, I guess it doesn't technically require it. You just dump all of it elsewhere. Or just be smart enough to not put ingots into the ice input for now. That is also an option. Although I'd like to just have a singular, or not necessarily singular, but a drop-off location that I can drop off stuff at and then pick it back up. Or pick up the empty belt elsewhere. We should be able to, now that we're starting to get some pressure into our coolant gas, which is our nitrogen, should be able to take another crack at making some of our advanced alloys. In fact, well, this episode's already run long enough. Oh, geez, it's run long enough. So, yeah. Nice and pretty colorful atmospherics. Let's see what's a good thumbnail shot. Pretty colorful atmospherics. We've started processing our first couple of gases. I'm sorry if this episode's been a little jumpy at points. I was interrupted a couple times. Life's like that, unfortunately, sometimes. But We have got our atmospherics officially running. We didn't blow anything up, despite my best efforts. We have our exhaust stack, our overpressurization exhaust stack set up. So on our checklist of things still to do is gas heating / temperature regulation, gas system or water management, and fluid evaporation. So any fluid gases we get, we want to evaporate and then send back for reprocessing. So that's the big ones. Other systems that would be nice is a auto feeder for the ice crusher, so we can feed in any of the ices that we acquire and crush them just by dumping off the belt instead of having to feed them in individually. And a gas monitoring system, something where I can just go look and see on the displays how much I've got of each thing. That shouldn't be too terribly difficult. All right. Oh, and the auto filter changer. I want to make it so that I can automatically change the filters based with a script and a layer arm. And that will probably require, well, obviously some more scripting, but also another hydraulic pipe bender and probably preload it with just a whole bunch of iron, because we'll just use the cheap filters. So there's no reason to spend expensive resources on more expensive, larger filters if you have a system that can change the cheap ones automatically. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you've had a wonderful day. If you've enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and a subscribe. It helps me out a ton and lets me know you like what I'm doing. If you've seen some obvious error that I've made, make sure to leave it in the comments. A couple people have definitely pointed out some things that I didn't know, so I'm still learning about this game as I go. There is a lot of things I still don't know. I'm hoping this will be a pretty good atmospheric setup and will carry us through the end game here on Mars. Whether it will be or not, only time will tell. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and goodbye.